Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street, in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. It's everything you never needed to know. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What is the oldest continually used money in history?
Does Canadian money really smell like maple syrup? Hi, I'm Nick.
And I want pancakes. And I'm Roy. And this week we scoured the internet to find out these useless tidbits just for you.
Just a small stack of bills. Plus, we'll answer your question in the mailbag segment. What is the longest anyone has ever had the hiccups? Plus, in the news, a fan favorite, stupid criminal stories.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
Wall Street, Bay Street, NASDAQ, Hensing, loonies, toonies, dollars, and yens. This is On the Money with Nick and Roy.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for joining us. Over 87, almost 90 countries now. Can you believe it? 90 countries
amazing.
Around the world.
We're so thankful to everyone that's listening, by the way. Thank you so much. It's why we do it.
The Monopoly game. We've all played Monopoly. Have you ever played Monopoly? You've played Monopoly.
You know, Nick, I'm not a big fan of Monopoly, although I have played it.
Well, here's this. The original design was to demonstrate the negative aspects of concentrating private and land ownership. It's now a symbol of capitalism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's a capitalistic game. If you don't play it like that, you lose, right? You got to
exactly.
be ruthless in Monopoly.
Exactly. By the way, because you said that, you owe me $44 in rent.
Yeah, but that's okay because in my rules, I get to rob the bank.
There you go.
I become the mayor and then I embezzle all the money out of the bank. Hey, you call it Monopoly, I call it reality.
Yeah. Monopoly, the reality version.
Right off the bat, I'm going to give you my teaser.
Yeah.
The oldest money in continuous use in history.
Yeah.
It's been in use since 775 AD.
Yeah.
Can you guess? 775 AD.
What is it?
The British pound sterling.
No.
Yes, the British pound sterling's been in existence since 775 AD and in use since that time.
That's a long time.
You were there. You got the first.
Well, yeah, I have it up on my wall, the very first dollar I ever made. The British
You
pound.
got the first issue of the British pound sterling, and I got the first issue of Playboy.
Wow. The lucky
Good articles.
The
Nick.
great articles. Are you kidding? Whoever the writers were for Playboy magazine, I think they deserve awards, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
photographers.
Well, yeah, that too, and you have to read between the lines. A lucky loonie, a Canadian, because up here in Canada we call our $1 coin a loonie. This Canadian lucky loonie was secretly buried at center ice during the 2002 Winter Olympic Games in Salt Lake City. The tradition started by an ice maker, Trent Evans, best known as the Lucky Loonie. As I said, Evans placed the loonie under the ice to mark the center ice spot. And the coin was later discovered after Canada's gold medal wins in both men's and women's hockey. The loonie is now a piece of Canadian sports lore and displayed at the Hockey Hall of Fame.
How did you guys do in the playoffs?
On to the next fact.
No, did you lose?
No, we did. Oh, you didn't know?
lose?
Yeah, the Leafs lost to Game 7 to Florida. Yeah. But okay, so you know what?
Well,
At the
you guys
time of this
can't catch
record,
a
hold
break.
on, hold on.
No, don't put that in. You
No.
guys can't catch a break.
Listen, let me tell you one thing. So the Florida Panthers, Roy, you live in Florida? Yeah, that's right. I live in Toronto. Okay. It was a disappointing season for the Leafs because they went to 7 games. They were beat by Florida. But I'll tell you one thing. The coach of the Florida Panthers, Canadian.
Yeah.
The amount of Canadian players, the majority of the players on the Florida Panthers are Canadian. So you're welcome.
There is a credit card that is so exclusive,
Yes.
most don't know about it. It is the Dubai First Royal Credit Card. The Dubai First Royal Credit Card. There is an annual fee, though, to have it.
How much?
$100,000.
Oh, okay.
That's like a super upscale country club.
It is. $100,000, really? So here's my teaser. It's funny how you said you're in the mood for pancakes. So what I labeled this fact was a short stack of Canadian bills. In 2011, the Bank of Canada released new plastic bank notes, right, to make them more durable. They last longer, which is great. Now, emails to bank officials from the public in the months after the bills were introduced reportedly asked whether a scent of maple syrup had been added to the notes.
Tell me yes.
Obtained under the Access to Information Act, because they really had to dig deep for this one, they asked the bank to confirm whether the scratch and sniff feature had been quietly added. Rumors of the maple syrup scent got started on the internet soon after the bank notes were. You want to know if it's really true or not?
Yes.
Okay. No more teasing. The bank insists it did not add any maple or any other scent for that matter. But the maple myth is still likely to persist because some Canadians claim that there's an unexpected, maybe what it is just an unexpected byproduct of the manufacturing process. It's just a coincidence that it happens to almost smell like maple syrup, but they haven't. There's no scratch and sniff money here.
I want people to understand something too. Money is dirty.
Yes.
Stop sniffing it.
Right. Yeah. Canadian dollars now part of a complete breakfast.
The world's largest banknote.
Yeah.
Get ready, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, you would never think that. 2009, they started printing the $100 trillion banknote.
Whoa. 100 trillion? Jeez.
$100 trillion banknote, probably worth maybe $100 in American money or something. I mean, it's just, their money is like wallpaper.
Yeah.
But because of that, they just have to keep printing larger and larger denominations, So they have a $100 trillion banknote.
How do can you make change?
It doesn't matter, Nick. Me and you go there, we're going to look like we're really rich.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Wow.
Well, that's Nick and Roy. They're worth 17 billion trillion.
Listen, we're priceless.
They would have to use gajillions for
Gajillions, right. Gajillions. Nick and Roy, worth gajillions in today's dollars.
Nick and Roy, the gajillionaires.
Wow. It is. Before the federal finance minister delivers the budget speech up here in Canada, journalists and photographers follow the minister on a shopping expedition leading up to their budget speech. While the new shoe tradition has been taking place since the 1950s, it's really unclear why or how it started. But so basically, the finance minister, or in your case, the Secretary of Finance, the Secretary of the Treasury, I guess would be the equivalent in your
Secretary of Treasury.
Right. So the finance minister buys a new pair of shoes every time they present the annual or the whatever annual budget for the government. So although the event can be marked by the purchase of just any pair of shoes, ministers opt for a pair that falls in line with the year's budgetary concern. So the new shoes might suggest plenty of funds for the year ahead, while Canadian-made shoes could suggest an investment in Canadian business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, your budget minister isn't corrupt, but he paid $650 million for those shoes.
No, he had the $1 trillion note. It says, do you have change?
Yeah, right,
Can you break this?
I wonder if there's a budget for him.
There you go. Well done.
How much
Boy,
can he spend on a pair of shoes?
I don't know. How much? Yeah.
Here we go. Here's one for the Canadians.
Yes.
Okay. The largest gold coin ever minted was minted in Canada.
Yeah.
It was 100 kilograms of solid gold.
Yeah.
And it was sold for $1 million American dollars.
So how much was it? How many?
It sold at the time for $1 million.
And how much was the weight? What's the weight of it?
100 kilograms. So what? How many? What is that in ounces?
So 100 kilograms turns out to be 220 pounds.
Whoa,
220 pounds.
220
Yeah.
pounds times 16 equals 3,520 ounces times, let's just use $3,000 to be on the safe side. Wow, right now it's worth $10 million.
Wow.
Over $10 million.
Yeah.
Wow, I wish I bought that.
Yeah. We'll be right back as we go buy some stuff. You can go to Nick and speaking of buying stuff, hey, how about you go to nickandroy.com, click on the Nick and Roy store. We're really excited to tell you that we have our birthday messages up there becoming more and more popular. Word of mouth is the number one way that, actually the number two way. More people listen to it on the radio and order a birthday message. And what it is that we actually create a special, totally useless information show for the birthday person.
And the best part is the reaction from people. The emails that we get, multiple emails.
Mm-hmm.
One person gets the birthday message, they send it to their friends, and even their friends email back, that was great. How do we get one? If you have a friend or a loved one that you say they have everything, they don't have this, it is the greatest gift that you will ever get them. Trust us. Go to nickandroy.com, go to the Nick and Roy store, type on birthday message, and there's actually a sample there to show you. It's literally a mini show put together for that special person on their birthday, and there's other events as well. So go to nickandroy.com, type on the Nick and Roy store, and you'll see it all. It's a great gift.
nickandroy.com.
Step right up here. Step right up, folks. Don't be shy. Move it. Totally useless information with Nick and Roy present Games People Play.
How about you take this one? You go first.
PlayStation,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
A super success in the video game world.
Yeah.
When that came out, it just beat everything out.
It did.
It was an electronic design by Sony Corporation for the Nintendo Corporation. Nintendo went to Sony and said, can you design this electronic thing for us? They said, sure. Well, at the end, when it was getting ready, Nintendo wasn't doing so well, and they weren't as cash flush as they thought they were going to be, and they said, we really don't want it now.
Right. Oh.
And Sony said, oh, that's fine. We'll take it. Out came the Sony PlayStation, which was supposed to be the Nintendo box.
Wow. Nintendo's kicking their butts.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. Totally useless information with Nick and Roy continues. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Those of you in the audience who play video games, like I can't say that I've played the most recent games. Like we've played Missile Command in the past. This is when we had arcade, where you needed quarters, lots of rolls of quarters in order for you to play video games, right? Today it's handheld. You know, it's on your computer systems. It's PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever it is. But Resident Evil 4 apparently. So Resident Evil 4, I never played Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, so I don't know what 4 has in store.
That's what Nick's wife calls him.
Resident Evil? Yes. 4. Because the other 3 couldn't just take it. So Resident Evil number 4.
Actually, she calls him Resident Evil for nothing.
For nothing, yes. So I'm looking at this fact. I'm going, okay, not being a fan of the game because I never played it. So all I can say is that it involves a snake. Okay, I can tell you that. And the reason why I can tell you that is because apparently Resident Evil 4, the game has a hidden snake detail. Okay? Now, not like you in high school.
I have a game like that.
Yeah, I know. Except in high school, it wasn't hidden. Anyway, according to the game, the snake loses half his sight under certain conditions of the game. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
The longest continuing gaming session. This person, an Australian man, he played the game. Get ready. This is crazy.
Yeah.
100. This is Guinness World Book of Records. 138 hours and 34 minutes continuous gaming.
138 hours.
He was interviewed alone in his mother's basement.
That's like, it's almost 6 days. That's like 5.75 days.
Yeah, he must have had the machine to take to the bathroom with him, I would assume, so he could continue play.
And I wonder if the game was hands-free. The first video game, you know what? We've always said this. You always remember your first. Do you remember your first?
My first game?
Yes. Not that. No. Not that game. The first video game. The first video game tournament was in 1972. In fact, it happened... Mark your calendars. On Wednesday, October 19th, 1972, the first esports tournament was held on the University of Stanford campus at its Artificial Intelligence Laboratory. So think about it. They had an Artificial Intelligence Laboratory in 1972. Hosted by Rolling Stone magazine, the game that many turned up to compete was called Space War, a space combat multiplayer game. The very first game tournament in 1972.
The
Again,
company Square. You've heard of the company Square,
yes,
correct?
yes, I have.
You've used them to pay for things.
Yes.
They were having financial troubles years ago.
Oh.
And figured out they were going to fold for good. But they still planned to release their last venture, which was this game.
Okay.
They called the game Final Fantasy because they thought it was the last thing they were going to do.
Was it?
And of course, the rest is history. Final Fantasy is one of the biggest selling video games of all time.
Wow.
Thus, Square becomes a solving company.
Yeah.
But they called it Final Fantasy because they thought it was their final fantasy of success. Wow.
You know, it's kind of like those rock groups and musical groups. This is the last tour. This is the final farewell tour, you know,
Yeah,
for this year.
Except Michael Jackson was right.
Well, he was, yeah. Oh, wow.
He called it This Is It. Well,
Yeah.
he was right.
Yeah,
that
this is...
was it. Wow.
Too
No,
soon? No, not
soon,
too
though.
soon.
Too soon. Too soon.
Here's a little known fact, and we're going to divert just for a quick moment. I digress. So the day that Michael Jackson died, someone else died. Someone else, some other famous person
I'm sure,
died.
Nick, there were other people that died that day.
No, but no, but it's like okay. So this other famous person died when the day that Michael Jackson died. So remember Farrah Fawcett? Did you ever have her?
I had the poster with
Did
that
ya?
orange bathing suit and that multicolored tapestry that was behind her.
Right.
I didn't notice the tapestry for a few years.
So June 25th, 2009, Farrah Fawcett died. The same day that Michael Jackson died.
Oh, wow.
But
Nobody
no
knew.
one knew that because everyone was, freaking out because Michael Jackson had died on June 25th, 2009. So poor Farrah Fawcett. So, yeah, thank you for indulging us in this Uber ride.
That's a sticky situation.
It
though,
sure
that
is.
Farrah
Boy.
poster. Yeah,
You know what?
that's, yeah.
Really, people were wondering how they're able to put the poster stayed up on the wall for so long without
I
using...
wonder if people have that poster, what it's worth.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that really was. She's a beautiful woman.
She was. She really was. Both inside and out.
About her. She was perfect for the time.
She was. Okay, now that I've taken you to the digression with, you probably took an Uber, and here welcome back to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We talked about snakes earlier, just like any other fourth grader would. But the game, this was a preloaded game that was really incredibly popular for the time. Snake was the name of the game, and it was preloaded on many Nokia phones. It wasn't the very first mobile game. People thought it was because it was really popular, but a Tetris-like game for the Hagenuk MT2000 appeared in 1994, 4 years before the Snake. However, Snake is often considered the first major mobile game due to its widespread popularity and the impact it had on the mobile gaming landscape. But the Tetris-like game was the first one in 1994, not Snake in 98.
So you have famous characters in video games like Mario and Donkey Kong, the Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
There was also the character Kirby. Kirby was a big character in video games. But guess what?
What?
Guess where they got the name Kirby? This is crazy. Nintendo had a big lawsuit against Universal Studios about the use of their certain characters in their games. And so Universal sued them. Nintendo went against them and won the case with the very famous lawyer and politician guy, John Kirby.
Oh.
So they named the character of their next game Kirby as an homage to him and a stick it up your you-know-what to Universal Studios. The character Kirby.
Nice. Way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Cool.
See, it is cool.
I thought that was a cool one.
Listen, laugh, and learn. That's why you listen to our show. We really appreciate it. Totally useless information with Nick and Roy. NickandRoy.com.
Sports. Play ball.
For
That's one of the original
themes. Yes.
themes, yeah.
So
The original theme song.
I said 4 because the world record recognized by the Guinness World Records as the longest drive for golf in the competition is 515 yards
Whoa.
by 64-year-old Mike Austin in 1974.
Whoa.
At the
What, he
U-
shoot it out of a cannon?
I
I mean,
just-
500 yards?
Yep, it was 64-year-old Mike Austin, 1974. The U.S. Senior National Open qualifier used a 43.5-inch steel-shafted persimmon wood driver. We used a metric system because the numbers seemed larger up here. That's why.
This is 4.3 micrometers.
No, it's 430 millimeters.
Pickleball.
Yes,
The fastest growing sport. And we also found out it's a big social sport.
it is.
Young people now are going to play pickleball to meet. And, like instead of going on the phone and going on dating sites, they're playing pickleball.
Wow, that's interesting.
Why is it called pickleball? Right? There's no pickle involved.
No.
Technically, it's like a paddle ball paddle. Pickleball is the thing now. It's literally a wiffle ball that's hit with a solid paddle. It's actually a hollow core, but it's a solid face on the paddle.
Okay.
Where does this sport that has become so popular get its name from? Pickleball.
Well, tell us. I'd like to know.
Well, the guy who started it is a Seattle man living in Seattle. He started this sport. He halved a tennis court so that he could get 2 courts in out of 1.
Smart.
And he began this sport called pickleball. Now, people started playing it. People loved it. It got very popular in Seattle, but people were like, what is the name of this sport? So they would go to this guy and say, what's the name of the sport? And they said, well, I don't know. And they were like, well, every time we come to play with you, your dog is sitting there. What's your dog's name? And he said, Pickles.
No.
Yes, and it became pickleball, folks. That's the one you tell everybody.
Yeah.
Pickleball was the dog's name from the guy in Seattle who invented it.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
Nick and Roy for Tom's Place. June is birthday month at Tom's Place, and they'll celebrate all month long. Tom's 69th birthday is on June 7th. Annette's big day, June 9th. And Tom Jr.'s is on the 13th. Throw in Father's Day and Canada Day, and you'll have a month-long party.
They know how to celebrate down at Tom's with birthday deals. Make a birthday wish, and new spring arrivals included with select designer suits at only $369 each. Or 3 for $969. Select dress shirts from only $69. Upstairs, you'll find stylish sport jackets for $109 off. That's $109 off the price. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Find out many more deals all month long.
Join the excitement. Win an incredible $569. See what he did there? $69 to celebrate his 69th birthday. A $569 shopping spree. Just tag Happy Birthday Tom on their social media at Tom's Place TO, and you could be a lucky winner.
So head over to Kensington Market and treat yourself to a special birthday offer. Upgrade your wardrobe and styles with brand name menswear. Tom's Place.
190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Tom's Place will suit you.
Not only will they suit you, but they'll celebrate with you.
We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Do you have heavy stones?
I'd like to think that they're called that.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
This is I'm
They're
talking
sinking.
about. Listen, yes, it sinks with age. This is when Newton was it Newton who figured out gravity? Yeah. I'm talking about the sport of curling. All right, get your mind out of the gutter. It's a team sport played on ice, and you're wondering how heavy are the stones? Because I know you were.
I was wondering that, Nick.
You
How
have-
heavy are the stones?
You have that look on your face, and I'm telling you, 42 pounds, 42-pound granite stone, so don't take it for granted. Okay, the size of the playing surface, or the sheet, is 138 feet long by approximately 14 feet wide. Target areas known as houses are located beneath the ice at each end of the sheet, thereby allowing play in both directions. But each curling stone is made out of granite and weighs 42 pounds. And a big shout out to one of our big supporters of the show, Melissa, who's actually the program director at CKLW in Windsor. She's a big fan of the show, of course. Thanks for your support. But she's also really big in curling as well. So maybe she knew that. But if not, listen, laugh, and learn. That's why she listens to our show. CKLW in Windsor, the Big 800. The Big 8.
We're on that, right?
We are, exactly.
Yeah. We're big shots.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
on the radio.
Are you kidding?
The highest scoring NBA basketball game of all time,
Uh-huh.
highest scoring,
Okay.
occurred in 1983, in the 1983 season. It was between the Detroit Pistons. They bested the Denver Nuggets. So Detroit beat Denver
Okay.
in triple overtime. That's rare to begin with.
Okay.
They beat them 186 to 184.
Wow.
That's like 2 games.
Yeah, well, just about. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is. I'm a huge basketball fan as well, and I think the highest score I've ever witnessed was something like 130 to 120 or something. Like, wow, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Wow.
186 to 184.
So this one I call a good run. So the first winner was Spiridon Lewis, a Greek postal worker and veteran of several military campaigns. The first organized marathon race was 24.85 miles or 40 kilometers. It was a run from the city of Marathon to Athens. I guess that's why they call them marathons, right?
Sure.
And the length of the race, being 24.85 miles or 40 kilometers, it's in honor of the ancient Athenian soldier running. 3-2. It's in honor of the ancient Athenian soldier runner messengers who used to go from Marathon to Athens. And the length was 24.85 miles.
You'd think that with the advent of all the new stuff that they'd stop running, but
Yeah, but they're
these
still
people,
running.
they're just
Exactly.
not smart, Nick.
Yes.
But don't tell them, folks. It's funny.
No, don't tell them. I don't know. That's what makes it. Just don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
No.
The largest... Oh, they may be listening to the show. Damn. Okay. The largest stadium in the world
Yeah.
is in Rungardo, North Korea.
Okay. Korea, yeah.
Korea, yes. Rungardo, North Korea.
All right.
It holds over 150,000 people.
Wow.
That's a big stadium. I mean, all football stadiums hold like what, 64,000 or something?
Well, you're a big fan of college football down in the United States, and
Yeah, they can go up to 100,000.
okay, all right, yeah, I've
But
heard.
this is 150,000. This is like packing the swamp in Gainesville, Florida, which
Right.
gets packed up. I think it's like 90,000 people,
Wow.
and then adding another 60,000, which is a NFL stadium. Wow, like 65,000.
Yeah,
So basically,
yeah.
it's like those two stadiums together in North Korea, Rungardo, North Korea.
Here's my question.
No elbow room for those people.
No
I'll tell
elbow
you
room.
that.
Not only that. So what if you have to go to the washroom, to the bathroom,
No, they don't do that.
and every time they flush, there'll be no water pressure in the rest of the city. Now, it's interesting you talk about the size of the stadium. How about it's all the same size? Is my next fact. The dimensions of a basketball.
Yeah, that's what you'd like to think, but okay.
What size? That's what they've told me. This is what I've been told. The dimensions of a basketball court are the same at both the high school and professional levels. Because sometimes you'll see like high school, the local news will cover like the local high school tournament or whatever. And you're looking at the basketball court thinking, well, that's got to be smaller than regulation. No, the size is the same at both the high school and professional levels. However, the three-point line distance and the height of the basket are different, but the actual length of the course is the same. Now,
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Like they have junior-sized footballs and regular-sized footballs.
yeah, it's just amazing.
yeah.
Now, I did. So I didn't stop there. I figured, let me look at other sports. So some of the CFL, the Canadian Football League, their end zones are different sizes. So obviously the
They're
length
much
of
smaller.
some of the stadiums have cornered end
Gonna
zones.
hide our injunction in there.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Now, here's the thing. But every baseball stadium has different dimensions. So some of them, they're not all uniform. They're not all the same. So anyway, sizes does not matter in some sports, but there you go.
The fastest ever.
Yeah.
And I played tennis. And Nick and I met in high school.
That's right.
I literally played for school as well.
Yeah, you did
It was
really
a
well,
really
too.
Good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great experience to play. Ended up going into other tournaments. It was real fun. So the fastest ever recorded tennis serve, again, an Australian guy. The Australians are getting noted here for world records. In 2012, this guy, Sam Groth, Groth, served a ball at 163.4 miles per hour.
Wow.
263 kilometers. Nick,
That's
I broke
fine.
it down for you.
Thank you very much for
happy?
translating that. Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
His opponent is still waiting for a serve.
Anytime now. I got an appointment to get to.
Can you imagine? I think at the time when I was at the height of my playing, I was serving at like 93, 98 was a really heavy serve for me. Like, I don't think I ever broke. Maybe I broke 100, but
Yeah.
in general, it was in the 90s. Can you imagine 163.4?
No.
The pros are 120,
Yeah.
115, 130s. Like they're great, but this is 163. That's blistering fast. Knock the hair off the ball.
Yeah. Knock the hair off my head. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. What is it? One of our friends used to call me cue ball. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, cue ball.
Yeah, cue ball. Yeah, that's right.
So go to our website, nickandroy.com. It's a sport in and of itself. And you go to the contact page and you can send us an email.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
Robert from Oshawa, Ontario writes, we love your show. You guys are entertaining. We listen to your lots of podcasts, but you know what? By far, you guys are the most entertaining. Thank you. Well, here's my question. The other day, I started to hiccup, and it lasted about an hour, and I wondered, what is the longest anyone has ever hiccuped? You guys are rubbing off on me because usually we come up with the fact, well, we can't stop there. We need to know more. So he wanted to find out who, if there's the longest that anyone has ever hiccuped. Well, the answer, first of all, Robert, thank you for your email. Thank you for listening. And yes, we do rub off on people, but they told us to stop. American Charles Osborne had the hiccups for 68 years. From 1922 to 1990.
Did you know him, Nick?
And he...
1922. I mean, wasn't that?
Oh, absolutely. I took his picture. And he was entered in the Guinness World Records. A lot of world records.
You chiseled his face in stone.
He did, yeah. He is in the Guinness World Records as the man with the longest attack of the hiccups, an estimated 430 hiccups. So 1922 to 1990. Sadly, he died in 1991.
Wow. Nick is so old, he had friends named Fred and Barney.
And we're always stoned.
Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones.
Which, by the way, okay, let's go. This is a show that's full of tangents and digressions. The Flintstones was modeled after the 1950s television show, The Honeymooners.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What's your mailbag?
Well, I was going through the emails, and Nick always picks the ones that have questions.
Yes.
It's just the way we do it. I'm
Right.
lazy.
Yeah.
And I like the ones that are either funny or gratifying.
Right. Or
The
both.
gratuitous ones are great.
Yeah.
And anyone that's a complaint, I send to the department.
Yeah.
Which is a round bin that's on the floor. Says trash. I don't know what that means. But anyway, I saw this one. Frony or Frony. Frony. Frony from Shetland, England.
Okay.
Now, that in itself, Franny from Shetland, England. Your show is bonkers.
Thank you.
We just love it. We also love Toronto and Florida.
Oh, bingo.
Have you been to England? You or Nick?
I haven't. Have you?
I have not, and I really want to. My son went to school at Oxford for a semester.
Okay.
So, and he loves England, and we wanted to go this year, but we're going to hold off this year
Okay.
and travel the U.S. and Canada, I think, this year.
Cool.
And yeah. So she says, "Have you ever been to England?" No, I have not. Nick has not. So we
Right.
got to get there. She says, "If you guys get here, here's my cell number."
Oh, okay.
She says, "Knock me up,"
What? Wait.
Knock
wait.
her up.
Okay. Hold on.
which in England means call her.
Okay.
I know.
I was going to
'cause
say,
that's what I said.
not again.
Okay, here's my cell number. Knock me up. So I said, Frony. What is it? Franny or Frony? I'm not even sure.
Right.
But anyway, I looked it up. I actually looked something up.
Yeah. Okay.
The name actually is a nickname in England. It's a nickname for the spice saffron.
Oh,
Frony.
very good.
So I guess it's Franny. Saffron.
Yeah.
Franny.
I like it.
And so her name is a nickname for saffron. Cool.
I like it. So, okay.
Thank you, Franny. We love you too.
Yep, we
and
do.
We may knock you up one day.
What was it? And Rodney Dangerfield, great comedian. You know, if you're a fan of our show, you know we love Rodney Dangerfield. And he said, you know, I said to my daughter, next time tell your boyfriend to knock you down. On the show today, we talked.
No respect.
No respect at all. On the show today, we talked about money, we talked about games, we talked about sports. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
You ask for it, you love it every time we do this. We do have this week several stories where we call stupid criminals, and it's spelled STOOPID. Stupid.
Are they all from Florida?
I don't know. Let me just check. No, let's see. Let's see where they're from. No, not necessarily. But these are stupid criminals. The case of the returned merchandise. A man tried to return a printer to a store. Okay? You know what he forgot to do? He forgot to remove the counterfeit bills he had printed with it.
Oh, even worse. Oh, no.
Yeah.
God, it's really bad.
It is, because,
He's a
unfortunately...
stupid man.
Stupid. STOOPID. Stupid.
You'd think he would have at least took that money and bought a better printer.
You would think.
Take this one back.
Yeah. This one, you know what? The counterfeit money didn't come out too good in this one. I need something with better
Look at this
quality.
junk.
Yeah, that's right. Here's a Scottish shoplifter. Aaron Morrison was arrested after stealing a bottle of vodka from a liquor store. Okay. Now, you're thinking that happens from time to time, unfortunately. But it didn't take long for the local authorities to apprehend Morrison, because before leaving with the stolen vodka, Morrison asked the clerk out on a date and left her his name and phone number.
And he said, by the way, do you have any orange juice?
He's got a screwdriver loose.
By the way, I have a hammer. Do you have orange juice? I'd like a screwdriver.
Right. So here he is. He pulls off. He almost got away with it, except
He
really...
steals this thing and leaves his... Oh, what a moron.
What a moron. You know what I want to know is, did she say yes?
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe...
Once he got out on bail.
That's right. Why don't you
She
knock...
knew he had liquor, so
Listen.
she was good.
Liquor, he hardly knew her. Maybe he asked her to knock her up. Anyway,
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I wonder if she said yes, because maybe, I don't know, maybe he stole her heart. In another case of stupid criminals on Total Uses Information with Nick and Roy, in Salinas, California. So far, no Florida yet, so you're off the hook.
Yeah.
In Salinas, California, a security camera picked up 33-year-old Roberto, 3 names here now, Roberto Daniel Arroyo, at 5 o'clock in the morning, licking the doorbell of a random homeowner.
They're doing that now.
That's what the kids today, huh?
All the kids are
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah.
They're playing pickleball. They're meeting up at the pickleball court to meet
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
and then also licking doorbells. Now, these are random homeowners, so they're not targeted. Thank goodness for that. The camera showed Arroyo continuing to lick the doorbell for about 3 hours. And then
It's
also,
like a porno, because if it was a Ring camera, you got this.
yeah, but
Wow.
but all you'll see,
Roberto's really into me.
well, the thing is, all you see is his, all you see is his tongue on the camera.
And in the background, you heard Paul McCartney. Someone's knocking
Yeah,
on the door.
Someone's licking my bell.
Someone's licking the bells. Roberto, do us a favor. Open the door. Let Roberto in.
Listen. So, sorry, Paul McCartney. We'll send you 44 cents for that part of the show. So,
Well, that's two that were licking. The first guy stole liquor. And
that's
this
right.
guy's licking the doorbell.
That's right. But not only that, this genius, this pride of joy is. Oh, they also caught him relieving himself in the yard.
No. So first he licks the doorbell.
Right.
Then he goes and relieves himself.
Now,
And
this
they
is-
could see it, so
Yeah.
he's doing it in front of the camera.
He's charged with theft and prowling and other violations. You would think.
That's a real violation.
It
Plus,
is.
they said you might want to check him for thrush. Tongue look a little coated,
Wow. And finally, on this episode of Stupid Criminals on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, a woman in Fresno, California, was stopped at a DUI checkpoint for being
It's gonna
soused.
get good.
Yeah, it's going to get good. Now, she was married. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She was married, and she was really, really helpful because when the cops stopped her, she said, "My husband's right behind me, and is even drunker than I am." so not only did she,
He crashes right into that would be him.
that's him.
Good thing I was here to stop him. That stupid would have went right by.
Absolutely. Wow. Anyway, that's all the time that we have. We will scour the internet, however, and find out more totally useless information just for you.
And until then, now we're in almost 90 countries. Folks, this is a trend. People are listening to this show like crazy, and we need you to tell everyone. So tell a friend about the trend and listen to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy on any podcast or radios, and we're all over.
And try not to lick your device. I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is recorded and produced in Canada. For more totally useless information, visit nickandroy.com. That's nickandroy.com. Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.